Okay. Turn me up a little bit.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the meat stall. Find you some meat and smoke it. Today I'm just going to do like a tutorial on how to dress up your ribs before you put them on the pit. I don't have a video of me actually with these on the pit. I'll do that later. I found these ribs pretty good price. I think the first slab was like $6 or something. The second round was like $7, so I picked me up 3 of them. The family wanted some ribs today, so I took them out the freezer early this morning. And I said, I might as well do a video, how to trim up your ribs. These ribs here are already St. Louis style. St. Louis style is a full slab of ribs minus the rib tips. So let's go ahead and break into these ribs right quick. Get into this cryovac bag without cutting my stomach open. She never cut towards you, but I think I was pretty safe this time. Let's see if we can get these out of the bag. It was a real good deal that I got on these ribs today. I was pretty excited about that. Take them out. Discard this bag real quick. Okay. This little bit of meat right here, some people call it the skirt or the flap. They did a pretty good job of removing the flap, but I like to get it close to the bone because that part usually burns. And if you can take it off, you can have you some good snacking at the pit while you're waiting on the ribs to get done. Here, I'm patting down the ribs, and I'm choosing to remove the membrane. A lot of people score the membrane. Me personally, I don't like scoring the membrane because it leaves a tug on the rib. Some people like that tug. Me, myself, I like a clean bite on the rib. So the best method for removing the membrane is to grab you a piece of paper, preferably a paper towel, and find a piece and pull. If you're lucky, it'll come off all at one piece. I wasn't so lucky at this time. A little bit came off, so then I have to see. Look at this thing right here. You don't want that on your rib. Look how tough it is. Your seasoning can't penetrate that, or the smoke can't penetrate that. And to me, it just makes for a tougher bite. So let me get the rest of this off right here. And discard that. The paper towel makes it real easy. If you try to do this thing with your hands, you're gonna be all day. I've seen this one thing, it's called the rib skinner. It's kind of like a pair of pliers that you put on and you pull it, but for my purposes, I just use paper towel, and it works just fine. Here, I'm just taking out some of that hard fat that's in between those bones, because that won't render, and that won't be a good bite for you or the people that you're serving. Any little pieces that's hanging off, I like to discard them because they're just gonna burn in the cook. There's always this little fat piece that's on the edge of the rib. It's not a real hard fat, so it may render, but I like to discard that and get rid of it. A little more fat right there. Just trim it up. Most times with the St. Louis, if you buy them, they're squared up pretty good. But here, right now, I'm feeling for that last bone, and I'm just going to cut it and square it up. It's a little bit better. If you feel down, you can feel it right at the edge where the last bone in the gristle is, and I'll square that up and I'll save that. Some people save it for beans. For myself, that's a pit snack. Let's set that to the side. That's for the pit master. Got another little piece of fat right there. Go ahead and trim it up. You'll be surprised if you trim up your ribs, just in presentation and also the end product. It looks better, and I think it tastes better. Well, they say you eat with your eyes first. I'm gonna be doing 2 ribs today. Today I'm trying a different type of slather. I'm gonna use some sriracha as just a binding agent to hold my seasoning. Whenever I do ribs, I like to do at least 2. I do one something I'm doing different, and then I do one traditional. So if it doesn't come out like I like it, we still got a slab of ribs that we can eat on. But the sriracha rib came out pretty good. So it's a little spicy on the back end, but it's not really hot. I gave my son a piece. He ate it. He liked it. But then he went straight for some juice. So I wouldn't advise giving it to kids. Here I'm using my 50-50 coarse pepper and kosher salt for this. And then a little garlic powder. Coat it up. We'll turn it over. Put some more sriracha on there as a binding. And we go back on with the salt and pepper. And back on with the garlic powder. Remember to get the edge of your ribs as well. That's me too. If you're missing out on the edge of your rib, you're missing out on a space to put flavor. So I went on with the salt and pepper, now going on with the garlic powder. I try to get all edges of the rib, and we'll turn it around and we'll flip and do the same thing on the other side. Here I got this method from Ray Mack Kitchen and Grill. If you guys get a chance, go over and check his channel out. I'm gonna put a link in the iCard. This guy's doing some real good cooking. He's also a fellow North Carolinian. Real good channel. Get a chance, go and check it out. He taught me this method of how you put your saran wrap down and you keep your counters clean. Tried it one time and I fell in love with it. And also, you got a container so you can put your your ribs in. Try to move as much air as I can out of it. And there you go. Your rack is ready for the grill. And it's time to take a nap in the fridge. Now you can marinate your ribs 24 hours, or I like to go at least about 3 or 4 hours. Now here's a recap of the first one that I did, but here's the second one, which is I'm gonna do a little bit different. I'm just pulling the membrane off, getting off all the little extras. Sometimes if you can't get it off, use the butter knife as you see me using right there. And just pull your whole membrane off and trim all the excess fat, the fat that won't render. Get rid of it. This time I'm going on slather, which I know you guys seen before, just some regular old French's mustard. Go on the French's mustard, and I'm going to my drawer of seasons, and I'm breaking out one of my favorites. That's that Head Country Championship seasoning. I really like the way this thing tastes on ribs. Haven't tried it on pork butt yet, but I think it'll be really good. It really pairs good with pork. Put the mustard on the other side. Go on with a little more Head Country. Now here's another technique that I use when I'm getting the edges. I showed you another way in the first rib, but here I roll them up, I set them up, and then you got your edges exposed, and you can go right on there, and then you can just, my son's showing his phone. You can go right on there, and you can get those edges. And I flip them over, and I do the same thing. Also with this technique here, if you've got limited grill space, you can take your ribs, roll them up like that, put a couple skewers through them, and you can cook your ribs standing straight up. It really maximizes the space in your cooker if you want to get more slabs on. Let's unroll that bad boy again, and any seasoning that may have came off, let's give it another little light dusting. That's my snacks right there. I put those right on top. Go back in with my saran wrap. Wrap these bad boys up real good. Try to get as much air as I can. And as I'm lifting up the saran wrap, I pull the saran wrap tight, removing the air. And cleanup is basically nothing. And I love it. I love doing it like that. Also, I want to give a shout out to my boy T over there at TNT Barbecue. I'm going to put a link for him also in the iCard. I really enjoy this guy's channel. He really knows what he's doing. And I'm pretty new to YouTube, so he's really helped me out a lot. If you get a chance, I appreciate it if you go over there and check his channel out. He got a lot of good techniques and he got a lot of good products. Let's pull this other one out. Now we got the 2 slabs of ribs. Here, the first one is the one that I did with sriracha. It looks like I used paprika, but I didn't. And that's the one with mustard. Thank you for coming by the meat stall. And remember, find you some meat and smoke it.